In ROM BIOS, the acronym BIOS stands for A. Basic Intuitive Output Set, B. Basic Input Organizational System, C. Basic Input Output System, D. Basic Industry Operating System. The correct answer is Basic Input Output System. How many pins on a VGA? A. 15, B. 9, C. 25, D. 32. The correct answer is 15. What is modified when changing the system startup boot sequence? A. BIOS, B. config.sys, C. autoexec.bat, D. command.com. The correct answer is BIOS, which is not typically a field replaceable unit. A. System ROM, B. Power supply, C. System chassis, D. Video controller. The correct answer is System chassis. What are the most likely conditions for ESD? A. Cold and wet, B. Cold and dry, C. Hot and wet, D. Hot and dry. The correct answer is cold and dry. In which mode can two or more applications be stored in memory at the same time? A. Segmented mode, B. Unprotected mode, C. Real mode, D. Protected mode. The correct answer is protected mode. How does a parallel port communicate information to a peripheral device? A. 1 bit at a time, B. 8 bytes at a time, C. 1 byte at a time, D. 16,555 bytes at a time. The correct answer is 1 byte at a time. You suspect a virus has entered your computer. What will not be affected by the virus? A. MOS, B. Boot sector, C. Floppy disks, D. Program files. The correct answer is MOS. To find out how much memory is available, you could type A. EMM, B. MEM, C. CHKDSK, D. MAMAker. The correct answer is MEM. When seeking to upgrade for a particular motherboard, what do you need to know? A. Memory, B. Hard drive, C. Make model, D. DIMM. The correct answer is make model. What is the size of a sector? A. 512 bytes, B. 256 bytes, C. 512 kbs, D. 1024 bytes. The correct answer is 512 bytes. During the normal PC boot process, which of the following is active first? A. ROM BIOS, B. MOS, C. ROM BIOS, D. Hard disk information. The correct answer is ROM BIOS. Pick the correct choice for the 8088 CPU. A. 16-bit word size 8-bit data path, B. 8-bit word size 8-bit data path, C. 16-bit word size 16-bit data path, D. 4-bit word size 8-bit data path. The correct answer is 16-bit word size 8-bit data path. In which mode can two or more applications be stored in memory at the same time? A. Segmented mode, B. Unprotected mode, C. Real mode, D. Protected mode. The correct answer is protected mode. A brownout is defined as A slightly elevated voltage lasting from seconds to minutes or more, B. A slightly decreased voltage lasting from seconds to minutes or more, C. Complete power out lasting a few minutes, D. Alternating power out power on lasting a few minutes. The correct answer is a slightly decreased voltage lasting from seconds to minutes or more. In which phase of the laser printing process is a positive charge placed on the paper to pull the toner from the print drum? A. Writing, B. Transferring, C. Conditioning, D. All of the above. The correct answer is Transferring. Which component stores an electrical charge? A. Diode. B. Rectifier. C. Capacitor. D. Resistor. The correct answer is capacitor. You are installing an IRQ hard drive that will be your boot drive. Which is the correct order of steps that need to be followed? A. Jumper properly auto detector configure manually in CMOS low level format high level format partition. B. Jumper properly auto detector configure manually in CMOS partition high level format with S switch. C. Jumper properly partition auto detector configure manually in CMOS high level format with S switch. D. Jumper properly auto detect in CMOS regular format. The correct answer is jumper properly auto detector configure manually in CMOS partition high level format with S switch. Which type of cable is most likely in use with RJ45 connectors? A. 10/2. B. 10/5. C. 10/T. D. 10/FL. The correct answer is 10/T. To prevent toner from sticking to a laser printer's heat rollers, apply which of the following? A. Alcohol. B. Oil. C. Ammonia. D. Beer or Jack Daniels. The correct answer is oil. Which controller would support an external CD-ROM drive? A. ESDI. B. AILL. C. MFM. D. SCSI. The correct answer is SCSI. You should never put floppy drives, hard drives or even VCR tapes or cassette tapes on top of speakers or near any other source of magnetism because of A. RFI. B. EMI. C. X. D. FYI. The correct answer is EMI. How many bits in a byte? A. 16. B. 8. C. 255. D. 10. The correct answer is 8. What is the result of adding an IP address to the DNS server search order? A. It restricts browsing to that DNS server. B. It overrides the local system's IP address. C. It tells the DNS server where the local system is located. D. It tells the local system where the DNS server is located. The correct answer is it tells the local system where the DNS server is located. Rupees 232 is a standard that applies to A. Parallel port. B. Serial port. C. Game port. D. All of the above. The correct answer is serial port. Your modem does not respond when you try to dial out. You try another modem on another computer and get the same result. What is the most likely problem? A. Defective modem. B. Defective computer. C. Software bug. D. Bad phone line. The correct answer is bad phone line. You suspect a virus has entered your computer. What will not be affected by the virus? A. CMOS. B. Boot sector. C. Floppy disks. D. Program files. The correct answer is CMOS. How would you allow device drivers and TSRs to be loaded into upper memory blocks? A. DOS high. B. Device high. C. Loading. D. DOS UMB. The correct answer is DOS UMB. Which is the easiest component to environmentally recycle? A. Motherboards. B. CMOS batteries. C. Toner cartridges. D. Cathode ray tubes. The correct answer is toner cartridges. When connecting a ribbon cable to a connector, how do you know which direction to plug it in? A. The red line in the cable goes to the highest pin number. B. The colored line in the cable goes to pin 1. C. It does not matter. D. The blue or red line in the cable goes away from the power connector. The correct answer is the colored line in the cable goes to pin 1. In inkjet technology, the droplets of ink are deflected by A. Electrically charged plate, B. Multi-directional nozzle, C. High-pressure jets, D. All of the above. The correct answer is electrically charged plate. With a dot matrix printer, light then dark print is most commonly caused by A. Erratic paper advancement, B. Erratic ribbon advancement, C. Misaligned print head, D. Overheating print head. The correct answer is erratic ribbon advancement. RTS stands for A. Ready to start, B. Ready to switch, C. Request to send, D. Request to scan. The correct answer is request to send. To install a second IRQ drive into a computer, you must A. Set the master-slave jumper to slave on the second drive, B. Use the IRQ configuration software to set the new drive as slave, C. Verify that you define the new drive as D in the CMOS setup, D. Verify that you attach the drive to the connector at the end of the ribbon cable. The correct answer is set the master-slave jumper to slave on the second drive. What can you use to ensure power is not interrupted, resulting in corrupted data? A. UPS, B. Proper grounding, C. Surge protector, D. Nuclear-powered thermal protective underwear. The correct answer is UPS. When configuring is a network interface cards without jumpers or plug and play, what is used to set the IRQs? A. DMA, B. CMOS, C. DOS, D. Configuration software. The correct answer is configuration software. MSDX does not have information on A. Cache, B. Video, C. Operation system, D. COM ports. The correct answer is cache. What command is used to hang up a modem when using the AT command set? A. ATZ, B. ATD, C. ATR, D. ATH. The correct answer is ATH. Current is measured in units of A. volts, B. amps, C. ohms, D. farads. The correct answer is amps. The standard IRQ for the floppy drive is A9, B6, C10, D. All of the above. The correct answer is 6. A keyboard locks up intermittently even when replaced with a new keyboard. What is the least likely cause of the problem? A second bad keyboard, B. the keyboard controller chip, C. the keyboard connector, D. the motherboard. The correct answer is a second bad keyboard. You are testing the resistance in ohms of a fuse on a 2-amp system. If the fuse is good, the meter should read A 0.0, B 0.2, C 5.0, D 2.0. The correct answer is 0.0. To find out how much memory is available, you could type A EMM, B MEM, C CHKDSK, D Maymaker. The correct answer is MEM. IBM's microchannel architecture MCA specifies which type of the following bit access widths: A 8-bit 16-bit, B 16-bit 24-bit, C 16-bit 32-bit, D 32-bit 64-bit. The correct answer is 16-bit 32-bit. What is the best ground for a conductive workbench? A AC outlet, B ground to bend, C to another device, D chassis ground. The correct answer is AC outlet. What could cause a fixed disk error? A DRAM drive not installed, B incorrect CMOS settings, C incorrect RAM settings, D all of the above. The correct answer is incorrect CMOS settings. A PC with a 486DX2 processor runs internally at 50 MHz. What speed would its external logic be running? A 0 MHz. B 25 MHz. C 50 MHz. D 100 MHz. The correct answer is 25 MHz. Match the device driver HIMEM.SYS to its operation. A supports ANSI terminal emulation. B manages the use of extended memory. C uses expanded memory on a 80386 processor. D supports code page switching. The correct answer is manages the use of extended memory. Upper memory blocks are located where? A conventional memory. B extended memory. C expanded memory. D reserved memory. The correct answer is reserved memory. The output voltages of a PC power supply are in the form of current. A AC. B DC. C amperage. D resistive. The correct answer is DC. After doing a low-level format, what would be the next step in configuring the hard drive in a system? A. Format DOS partition. B. Install operating system. C. Configure DMA channel and backup interrupt. D. Partition hard disk. The correct answer is partition hard disk. After trying to unload a TSR, you get an error message saying that other TSRs were loaded after the one you tried to remove. Which of the following commands could you use to see the current load order? A. MEMP. B. MAMAker. C. MEM.SYS. D. None of the above. The correct answer is MEM.SYS. In laser printing there are 6 steps the printer follows. What comes between the conditioning phase and the developing phase? A. Transfer phase. B. Writing phase. C. Fusing phase. D. Cleaning phase. The correct answer is writing phase. During the laser printer's conditioning phase, a uniform charge of is placed on the photosensitive drum. A. 1000 volt. B. 600 volts. C. 600 volts. D. 1000 volts. The correct answer is 600 volts. A dialog box with a bomb appears on a Macintosh screen. What type of problem has occurred? A. RAM problem. B. A software problem. C. A ROM problem. D. An ADB problem. The correct answer is a software problem.